Steeler Nation, welcome to Mailbag Monday. Alrighty, Steeler Nation, welcome to Mailbag Monday. I'm recording on my Monday at the good old time of 10:46 p.m. right before bedtime. Just got done doing work, but the show doesn't stop. Today we have the scouting combine, all those things happening. Draft coming up soon, free agent period around the corner. It just never stops in the NFL. And I'm going to make this a recurring thing. So let's do every Monday, Mailbag Monday, your questions. I'll answer them. We have 10 questions, some really funny ones too, some really serious ones. If you want to, for next week, for the same time this video comes out, if you want to, put your questions or question in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all those YouTube things that pretty much everyone says, every single YouTuber on the planet says, please do. If you find this content valuable, then for sure, hit the sub, like, do all those things, right? But leave a comment, leave a question for next week. But let's jump into it. I tell you what, I've got some really funny ones and some pretty far out there ones too. Like, gives me this kind of vibe. All right, okay, here we go. So first question's from Brendan. He says, do you think the Steelers should move Peterson at safety and get a new outside cornerback, either in free agency or the draft? Yes. And I do think there's a potential to do that. Peterson, either he'll have to rework his contract, he could be a cut. He's on the two-year contract. He didn't play the best football at the start of the season with the Steelers. I like him. I like him with BMAC on their podcast. I think they're cool. I think Peterson's played a Hall of Fame career coming towards the end of his career. Can they use him maybe more in the slot? Can they use Peterson more at safety? We talked about that three safety set quite a bit, but then last year you saw a lot of injuries with Kazi and Keanu Neal was out as well. So I would say yes, the Steelers can definitely do that. They could move him to safety or play him in the slot, and Steelers could go and get a cornerback in both free agency and the draft. Now, the only one I really know is Johnson, the Bears cornerback, right? I think he might be a guy that the Steelers might go and get. Levi Wallace, his time, I think, is pretty much done with the Steelers. I think it's over. And yes, the Steelers should go and draft another corner, but I'm not like I'm not a huge draft guy. Nor am I like looking at every single other team around the NFL. I focus on the Steelers, as you guys know that, and I focus on the Bengals suck. Being the Bengals have been 58 years, haven't won a Super Bowl. So I'd say short answer, yes, move to safety. And yes, the Steelers should go and get a quarterback in free agency and also the draft. All right, question 2. We have here Pittsburgh Owen from YouTube. Owen says, do you like Vegemite and when are you bringing back the pizza podcast? Okay, first of all, do you like Vegemite? No, I can't stand Vegemite. I think I tried it once when I was a kid. Not a fan. And it's either 50% of people like love it and the other half hate it. So some Australians love it, and there's a comment coming up that'll prove that fact from another Australian who's commented on the same post. I can't stand it. But to answer your second part of the comment here, when are you bringing back the pizza pod? Maybe in the off season. Me and Maddie might do, I don't know, 10 minutes talk. I could talk pizza forever because I worked in a Pizza Hut for 9.5 years until I got the cut. I've told that story before where I left the cheese out, got fired, and then fired by text. Then eventually I took my old boss, like, when I was a kid, like 22 years of age, 23 or 4, whatever I was, took him to court, and I got all my long service leave because he cut me and fired me by text. But I could talk pizza forever. My favorite pizza is pepperoni. I love pepperoni with a bit of garlic dip is awesome. But Vegemite, right? And I want to give a shout out to Gene. Says this is the only question that matters. And another comment was from Rivi, being an Aussie. I can answer this Mike question, the Vegemite. Yes, we effing love that. S, but it has to be on super buttery toast and a small amount of Vegemite. And that's why I always find it funny. Vegemite, you either love it or you hate it. And if you do love it, you need to have it in small doses and it needs to be surrounded by butter, right? I've never seen someone defend Vegemite like Australians do. Australians know Vegemite's crap, and they still eat it, and they defend it and say, well, if you have it in small doses, if you grab one bit of this thing here and a little bit of butter, a bit of salt, it's all good. You never hear that with chocolate. With chocolate, you go, it's fantastic. It's awesome. I love it. There's no defending chocolate. Vegemite, Australians need to find ways to invent to invent ways to defend how good it is if it's with super, not my comment, super buttery toast. So me, not a big fan. Question 3. Alrighty. Dante says, how long do you think the Steelers will keep Mike Tomlin as head coach if he doesn't win a playoff game? Not trying to be negative, but curious on what you view it as. Dead said, I think like Mike Tomlin right now is on a 1-year contract, hasn't signed an extension yet. I'd probably say if he doesn't win a playoff game, maybe 3 years. It could be a possibility this could be his last extension. 3 years that would give him a 20 years at the position. And then maybe Mike Tomlin goes into possibly into the background, some other role with the Steelers. I kind of don't see him leaving football. He might be into, an assistant, not general manager, but something similar to that, like football operations. Mike Tomlin, in some way, is going to be involved in football, and hopefully with Pittsburgh. If he's not the head coach, maybe he's the man behind the scenes. So how long do you think he's going to be a head coach for? If he doesn't win a playoff game, I'd probably say 3 years. All right, yeah. So we have another question here from Dante, and I've changed it up, so I've got things moved in here now. He said, "This is what I like. This one's funny." He says, "What's your favorite color, and what is your favorite common household appliance?" I like the second question a lot. I think it's so strange. If you guys in the comments, feed me stuff like that. Feed me questions that are quite odd, quirky, weird, different, strange, all that stuff within good reason, though, right? Not too far fetched, but kind of funny. To answer your first question, what is your favorite color? We also spell our color with Coulor. So you guys don't have a U in there. We spell it a different way. My favorite color is blue. Nice and easy, blue. I got pretty much. I do love gold, black and gold shirt Steelers, but it's yeah. I guess I could have been maybe a Detroit Lions fan, or I could have been a Rams fan. But I did like the color scheme of the Steelers being black and gold or black and yellow when I was back in the day. But dead set, favorite color is blue. And he says here, what is your favorite common household appliance? I looked at this question and I started to think for it. I was thinking like maybe microwave, right? Looked into a few more ideas. Maybe the oven, fridge is up there if I were to rank them in 1 to 5, right? But I'm probably going to have to go with the coffee maker. I think coffee maker is key. You put the pot in, you get the milk ready, push a button, coffee comes out, your day's set. But I really can't go past as well microwave. Microwave's also key. What better way to turn pizza that is cold into fresh, warm, ready to go? Zap, zap, zap. See you later. Down the gullet, right? But coffee, I think coffee's up there for sure. All right, yeah. Next one. So if we re-sign Mason and Kenny, do you start Mason? I know about the quarterback competition, but if Rudolph as a gamer plays better games in practice, then I don't see what training camp is going to provide. Alrighty, so this is a pretty good one because I think this is what a lot of Steelers fans, they're a bit nervous about this quarterback competition that Tomlin and the Rooneys keep talking about. What does it actually mean to give someone, QB1, QB2, both reps, 1A, 1B, and may the best man win? I think fans are generally like trying to think, what is going to happen with that competition? Will there be one? And with your question, if Mason's better, you probably start Mason, right? But if Kenny shows better strides, then you start Kenny. I just think Steeler Nation is nervous around this idea of quarterback competition because of the way how it played out. Was it last year or the year before with Mitch and all those things? And Mason was quarterback number 3. And some could say it was a waste and they should have started Mason first, right? So I'd say if fans are nervous, but do you start Mason? Yes. If Mason is the better quarterback, you go with Mason. Right here, next one. Thomas says, do you think they were at a cornerback in the draft or free agents? Bonus question, first round draft pick position. So I kind of answered that question before from a very first one. Yes, they both get a free agent and they get a draft. First round draft pick position, I'd probably say center. I think center's up there. The more I think about it, they go center or O-line. I don't care who they choose. If it's Jackson Powers Johnson or another big center, you get someone who's like 300 pounds or 280 or whatever it may be, a bruiser. They can play that position for the next 5, 6 years, 7 years. They've got Ciamalo. They've got a good guy in Jones, Daniels. You get a center, then you also get a right tackle as well. Maybe for the first time in a long time, you go offensive line with the first 2 picks, and you build that O-line. Alrighty, next one. So Dante says, what is the biggest point of contention with the roster? That should be number one issue addressed this offseason. What is the biggest strength? What we don't have to worry about. Let's start with the strength first. The biggest strength we don't need to worry about, running back, I'd say. Running back, Najee Warren, 1-2 punch, get that done. There's no real drama there. Najee's a dude, Warren's a guy. That's set. What is the biggest contention on the roster that should be an issue? Cornerback, maybe middle linebacker, maybe defensive line, and possibly O-line. But the biggest one, maybe O-line, probably O-line for me. All right, quarterback number 8. Question number 8. What do you see the Steelers doing at linebacker position? They will take Mason. Not Mason Cole. Cole Holcomb. I think he'll come back after his injury. Atlanta Roberts will be number 2, and Steelers will choose to sign Quan Alexander and Mark Robinson still on the roster, but he's like 3rd or 4th from the depth. So Holcomb, Roberts, Quan, if he comes back, maybe they go and draft someone. That's 1, 2, and Robinson will be 3 or 4. So I'm hoping the guys come back from injury and light it up. Alrighty, 2 more to go and 2 more fun ones too. So we have here from Sean. He says, if you go back in time, watch one Steelers game live in stadium, which game would you choose? This is one I've been thinking about too. I saw the comment, and I think my natural first reaction or instant reaction was it Steelers versus Ravens in the 2008 season when they won in Heinz Field with Troy picking off Jack Flacco to go to the end zone, the AFC Championship game, 2008, to then go on to the Super Bowl with the Cardinals. I think that would be the game. Would be probably 2008. Be inside that stadium when you know your team has just went to the Super Bowl from a Troy pick. And I'm pretty sure that was the game. 2008, Troy picked it off and then ran away to the end zone, and the crowd went crazy, right? That would be my pick. Otherwise, maybe Super Bowl 43 to watch Debo Harrison. Was it in, where was it? In Arizona? No, it wasn't in Arizona. It was in 43 was, I don't know where 43 was. Was it in Arizona? No, they versed Arizona. 43 was, I have no idea where 43 was. But it might have been fun to be in that stadium as well to see that happen too. Alrighty. So Sean says, and I'm sure you guys can let me know where 43 was. Was it in Florida? Maybe. Okay. Sean says, better mascot, koala bear, pigeons, or fighting kangaroos? If I'm going for a sports team, unfortunately, I'm going to knock out the pigeons. The next one, I don't mind the fighting kangaroos, but something tells me is really scary about koala bears or koalas, that if they're evil and they're just high on life, and imagine this guy is super evil, like just chasing you. I'm going to go koala bears to be my sporting mascot, or my killer koala bears with the last question. Look, that was a long episode, guys, by the way. So thank you, Sean. Thank you guys for all the comments too. If you made it this far, hit the like, sub, all those things. Monday mailbag, and make sure you put comments below so I can answer them next week.